Hello, all, and welcome to a new episode of Dental Time Podcast, where curiosity sparks conversation and every story takes us somewhere unexpected. With you, Muhammad Abdul Latif, the Public Health Chairperson for the International Association of Dental Students, and along my side, Alice Voon, the Vice President of Public Relations for the International Association of Dental Students, and Martina Kattaduri and Idel Jubajel, both workforce team members in the Public Health Committee for this term 2025-2026. Today, we'll be talking about leadership and inspiration and the power of women in dentistry. I'm truly honored to welcome our guest, Dr. Michèle Aerden, a global leader and an inspiring role model for professionals around the world. Dr. Aerden is widely recognized for her leadership within the FDI, the World Dental Federation, and for her dedication to advancing oral health and empowering women in our profession. Dr. Aerden, welcome. It's such an honor to have you by our side.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be there.
So let's start by getting to know a little bit more about you.
I'm from Belgium, living in Brussels. I am married since 60 years. Same man, so I'm really a dinosaur. We have two sons and five grandchildren. At the age of 20, I started with run a small business in fashion. I had 13 employees, two salesmen, and at the age of 28, I started with dental studies. So that is not common, but I have my private practice in Brussels, Belgium. I had because I stopped 2 years ago, and I'm involved in organized dentistry in my country, in the European Union, in Europe, and in FDI, that is global. That's in a nutshell.
Wow, that's really inspiring. Thank you for sharing. So you told us that before becoming a dentist, you work in a haute couture, and it's such a unique background, actually. And what did you inspire to make that transition, and like how did influence in fashion influence into your career?
But it was my husband's career. With my own company, it was really impossible for him to move to another country according to his career plan. So I thought, as a woman, I stopped my business, and as I had my younger sister, who was a dentist, I see that that profession is very easy for a woman because it is flexible. And if my husband has to go to another country, I can go with him and I can practice in another country. I cannot bring my fashion company from one country to another. So that was what decided me to having two sons already. I start my studies in medicine. Yeah.
Wow, that's such a great courage to do that and to change completely the subject of your field.
Yeah, but I have also a husband that uh, admit that I start study because there I was lucky to have that support.
So you started studying dentistry with two children, and did you find it difficult?
So my husband was working and he leave the house at 7:30 in the morning, come back at 7:30, and I have to manage my studies and my two sons.
Wow. So can you recommend to maybe women who are just like in their 30s or 40s to become this career, or do you think it's early? Or
Yeah, of course. I always say to everybody, man and woman, you have just one life. And if you have to change, please change. Don't stick with something that is not uncomfortable. You can change. It asks you courage, but you can do it. You have to do it because you have just one life.
thank you so much.
So, Dr. Michelle, you had such an incredible leadership journey. How did your journey with the FDI World Dental Federation begin?
But after graduation in dentistry, I become immediately concerned and involved in dental associations. So, in continuing education, in defending our profession, And with my experience of manager, because orthodontist has not that experience of running a company, very fast they asked me to become president. And so that makes that I became the first women president ever in in Belgium of my association. And then, in fact, because I speak several languages, they told me to, they asked me to go to as delegate to international organizations in the EU, in Europe, and in FDI. And so that brings me there, and in FDI, through the years, I become member in the different committees. We have a lot of committees, different committees, and I was involved in one and then in the other and in the other. And finally, they asked me to present myself as candidate for a consul. There was I was just one woman candidate in the beginning of FDI, but then at that moment FDI was only 69 69 countries. Now we are 134. So I was elected as second woman in council of FDI. Finally, because when I was councillor, they gave me a task, very heavy task as women. I was the only one. In my time, I was the only one. It was 10 years before me that there was a Scandinavian lady who was also councillor. But I was the only one in my time, always in the committees and in the council. And they gave me difficult time, like the work group strategy, and also leader of the work group new governance of FDI. So I became well known in FDI, and so they asked me to present my candidacy for president. The first time that I presented, I lost because I was a woman. I can tell you, it was because I was a woman. And I say never ever I will go again. And then on the very end, because I had the second possibility 2 years later to present myself again, I say, I will certainly lose now because my competitor was an European from the Commonwealth country, so I have no chance as little delegate from Belgium, one voice, we are so little country. And I say, but I have to do it for the women. So I ran a second time and I won. So after 105 years, man, president of FDI, I become the first women president, and knowing that more than 50% of the dentists worldwide are women. So, voilà. So that brings me to the presidency of FDI.
So, as you said, you became the first female president of FDI. What did that mean to you personally and professionally?
What it means mostly to me was a big responsibility. Because I cannot fail. If I fail, it will be so difficult for another woman to go for a candidate as president. So I must succeed. I have no choice. I must succeed. So I give all my time, 200% my time, and my practice was a little bit less, but yeah, I made that choice with great pleasure. And my patient was so kind to wait when I come from one congress and one traveling to another one, so I can manage the both. I could manage 2 children and the study, so I can manage that also. I think so. And I heritage in an organization, the FDI, that was in a very bad shape. When I become vice president, president-elect, it's like vice president, I must say I ignore the situation. that it was so difficult and so in a bad shape. So during my term as president-elect, I cleaned my ship. I always say that I clean my ship before sailing. So I changed the governance, I changed the finance, and I was really concentrate on that. So when I start my presidency, I make a positive balance in finance, and under my presidency, I make a president. And the governance also, we changed the status because now we are more than 130 countries instead of the status we are done for 55, 58, 68 countries, so we have to change it. So, and I put three focus on my presidency: excellency in all the levels of the organization, and the biggest was medical positioning of our profession, and then ethics. So that are really my goals for my presidency when I start.
Thank you so much. So, what do you consider your greatest contribution to FDI and global dentistry?
What I consider the greatest, I think my second goal was the medical positioning of our profession. I was convinced that we have to get rid of the image of drill and fill, but that we are really deal, and because it was not so evident in my time, in those times. Now more and more. But I think that is probably that the recognition of the dental profession as a fully medical profession, I push it through a lot of action. For one example, and I'm proud about that, twice I introduced a candidate of the dental field as for the Nobel Prize of Medicine. I don't know if you know Professor Brannemark, and the candidate was accepted as candidate. He was selected, so that was already a great achievement. But he never won it for other reasons. But okay, that is not the purpose today. And then also in 2007, we succeed for the first time after 26 years to have a resolution on the agenda of the WHO, and the 194 countries unanimous adopt that resolution, and that recognize the knowledge of oral diseases and their impact on the socio-economic development of the country. So that was for me a very big issue, and that was during my presidency time. And also I travel around the world because I had another vision of a presidency. I say I only want to come to your country if you invite me, and if I can meet with your minister or president of your country, and always I need after that a contact with the press, because so I have impact of what I say and what the ministers promise me, so I can say it. Oh, your minister promised me that, and then it goes over all over the media of that country, and so there was a big pressure then on the authorities. So, and also during my presidency, we decide for to implement the World Oral Health Day. So you see, it's really focused on positioning of our health, of dentistry as health profession.
Thank you so much.
If I'm too long in my answer, you can tell me. I can be.
No, your
try
answers
to.
are
When I
perfect.
start, I'm so passionate that you will always. I
It's
speak
great
always
to
too
feel your
much.
passion. While you're talking, we can feel your passion, and that's the most inspiring thing for us. You opened so many doors for us as women in dentistry, and I was kind of curious because later you said that the first time that you candidate yourself in the role of president, you didn't get elected because you were a woman. Do you think that women today still face barriers in leadership roles, or is better?
The first barrier that I feel myself was credibility. As you are a woman, and yeah, as female delegate, I remember my first meeting in Washington. I arrived in the room, big table, all the countries represented, but in those times we are not that much, I told you in the beginning. And I arrived there as woman, and I sit between the board, the mentioned Belgium, and a lady come to me and say, and put on my shoulder, say, excuse me, madam, but that is the place for the delegate. The secretary are sitting there behind. And I say, but I am the delegate. you know, that was my first contact in FDI as delegate. The secretary, so they took me as secretary. Very often they took me as secretary of the man who came with me. So that was the credibility. And another, in the executive committee, when I should say I discover the finance situation, I say, oh, we cannot continue like that. We have to organize the finance, and then the treasurer say, oh, Michèle, she don't understand finance. She doesn't understand finance. I thought, why? Because I'm a woman, I cannot understand finance. It's not my business. They told me, it's not your business. Say, what is not my business? When I'm president, I'm the only responsible, the final responsible. Finance is my business. So you see, the credibility. And as president also, they thought, I say, I have that problem. They say, oh, you need help. I say, no, I don't need help. I need support. It's different. But I must say, so in the beginning, you have a problem, in those times, but I don't think that it is now the same. But finally, I had a great presidency. I love it. And my council members were fantastic support, and we did, I think, very tangible results we had. So I think it was good. But in the beginning, the first days or weeks, it was really a matter of credibility. They thought that I was just there as the women there. that a lot of things I cannot afford, or I cannot face it. I don't know. But they say me also, because I did a lot for women. I don't know if you know that I was founder of Women in Dentistry, and I make it a section before I become president. It was very important that I did. Because when I was president, they asked, and what will you do for women? I say, as president, I have no gender. I'm just the president. Because, you see, they thought, voilà. That was my challenge as women. I don't know. Did I answer your question, or do I must? If I start speaking about that, then I can speak until tomorrow morning.
No, thank you, doctor. It was a really good answer, to be honest, and thank you for being so open about that. So, looking back, what are you most proud of in your journey? How did you stay confident and motivated during difficult moments?
I think I'm proud that I succeed in my function as first woman president, with evident achievements, and to give confidence to women's leadership. I am proud that I bring such an important to oral health as part of general health and human well-being. yeah, I'm of course proud to be founder of Women in Dentistry because I make a dissection because I think we need this kind of organization section because women we will always have two tasks, our profession and our family. And that it will still always be bigger and heavier for the women than for the men. Because that's normal and I accept that. And but I want also to, but that is not an achievement. But I must say, but I say it because I hear the ladies in front of me, and I say you have not to sacrifice your family life, or you sacrifice your children that you take care of your children. No, you have just to balance. Balance, do it the right things on the right moment, do it slower when your children are young, babies. The 3 first years are capital, and later open it. If you take very well care of them in the first years, you have peace for the rest of your life, I always say. So you have not to sacrifice some things. And even, look, my husband, he 60 years married, it's still there. So if you balance, you have to balance. That, yeah. So, yeah, and I try to do it and to make it. And now we have a lot of women in council. At a certain moment we have even 50%, but now we are losing now. And also in the committees, so that is, I'm proud about that. Yeah.
Yes, so thank you so much. So, do you think women today still face barriers in leadership roles? And if so, what do you think we can do to change that?
It was probably, and certainly, not probably, certainly more difficult in my time because those generations, I see the generation of my husband, it was another mentality. And now we are lucky to have young men. Mohammed, I tell you, we are lucky to have young men who balance also better their life. Now we have, these days, we have enough women who prove they can do the job. We have not to prove anymore. They receive the credibility more easier. But one barrier is still there. Women have not enough confidence in themselves. They don't go for it. I always say, go for it, please go for it. When I ask to my colleagues when I was in FDI president and they say, apply for that commission, apply for that position, do something, men say always, oh yes, Michèle, I can do that, I can assist you, I can help you. When I say the same to the women, apply, they say, are you sure that I can do it? Why are they hesitant? Of course they can do it. They have all the skills, necessary skills for it. I ask them, but always they say, are you sure that I can do it? And so I think for the women now, the main barrier will be themselves. Because they don't, they think that they cannot do it, that they won't have to sacrifice things and so on. No, go for it and you will see.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's very important to have a good mindset because the mind is your only limit. Uh, so we must thank
That's
you.
good. The
Yeah,
mind is your only minute. Good.
we must thank you to have the Oral Day, the World Oral Health Day. And I remember our listeners that is in 2 weeks, 1 week actually, is on the 20th of March, and we are organizing an amazing schedule. So be aware if you're listening to this podcast to save the date on the 20th of March. So going back to our interview, let's talk about the bigger picture. We know that oral health is obviously closely connected to the public health and policies. So from your perspective, what policies can countries adopt for gender equality?
For gender equality, that is really a difficult question because I hate quotas. I hate quotas. We have enough qualities as women. We have enough skills and we have proved. But still, I see that you can only move with quotas. To say that in Belgium we have in every official organization you need 30% of women. And when they try to stop that, women decreased. So we need quotas. I'm so sorry for that. Because I think, why do we need quotas? We are enough capable. We have everything to do the job. And still, we do not succeed to I don't want exactly 50%. It's not necessary. We are complementary, and you have better people there, and the better people there, and all the genders. But so few results in women in positions. It's not normal, and then we have to help with quotas. And I hate quotas.
Yes, I agree. I totally
Sometimes you have to take a tool that you don't like, but it's necessary.
And what role can we, as dental students and young professionals, play in shaping the future of gender equality in dentistry?
Gender equality in the industry, I don't know, but we are already busy for the moment because we have look to you. You are women there. I think no. In FDI we had this last 2 years ago 50%, and now it's less and less. But all over the world, in all the positions of it, even not in health, but in all the positions, you have for the moment. I think we lose our positions. We have less women, more and more in the countries. I say that with my granddaughter. She's 28, and I say you have to be attentive because women are losing for the moment their positions. So in dentistry, I think we are not that bad. We are in a lot of worldwide. We are more than 50%, so that's okay. But we are not in the decision positions. But I think women have to a little bit more need more confidence in themselves and go for it. Go for the positions, like you are doing. The 3 ladies here in front of me. Congratulations for that. And as a dental student, I always remember when I speak to young people, we have the most beautiful profession. We are taking care of the most precious item for a human being is his health. We have seen that with the COVID. When health is lost, everything is lost. Everything in the world, all over the world. So health is the most important. So the role of the dental students must focus on this humanity based on ethics. That is for me really a message that I want to give. Because we have the chance to take care of the most precious thing of our patient. And I feel that some go or choose the profession for finance reason. Of course, each work merits compensation, but you have to introduce the humanity and the ethics. The ethics gives you the trust and the credibility. I stopped working in my private practice at 78. And what was my biggest satisfaction of my career, that was a cadeau. It was the president what gave me the most satisfaction of all my professional dentist career in my practice was the confidence, the trust, the relationship with my patients. And I miss them now because I have the same patients 47 years, all families that you have. That is wonderful, the relationship. But that relationship, you can only have it if you have really to introduce that humanity and ethic aspect in your profession. And that is really, we are really a great profession. Fantastic. I wish you, all of you, a wonderful career, a wonderful satisfaction of your profession, because it is a great profession. If you are focused on your patients, the relation with your patients, based on ethics, I always say, during my presidency, we published a dental ethics worldwide manual, and I must say, I believe in that. That gives the trust of your patients.
Yes, I cannot agree more because you're not treating the teeth, you are treating the patient. And I think you're not like treating the teeth, you're treating the whole patient.
Yeah, absolutely,
And you
always.
never lose the sparkle. It's
No, and they feel it. If you are so involved in their health, they feel it. They are, and they give you all their trust. It's wonderful. That is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doctor. So, as we start to wrap up, I would like to ask you a few final questions. So, what advice would you give to young female dentists who dream of becoming global leaders?
What I advise you, first you have to start in your own country, because otherwise you need to have the support of your association. And if you have that, you can be sent as a delegate or as a member of a committee, but you have to go step by step. Don't want to run. I have seen some persons who they come on and they want to immediately, because their goal is a presidency. I never thought to become a president. I just work in each position hard, and because I love it and I'm passionate, and that brings you from the one to the other. But if you have that as a goal, what can you do later after that? So just go, but the first steps is in your own country, in your organization, and from there out, they send you, and they go, and then step by step, in function of your balance, as I told, with the children and the family. You see, for the moment, when my children were younger, I was not so active international, because before 10 years, 10, 12, 13 years, I stay in Belgium, because as president, I travel so much. I always say the airplanes were my sleeping room. So, but you see, you do it, but they were both on that moment when I was president. They were on university studies. You see, you have to balance the right moment to do it. Otherwise, too much is too much. No, just balance. Life is you have just one life. And you can always come to me, and I will always answer to you and support you. And come to Women in Dentistry if you have the possibility. Become a member of the section, and we have all women, fantastic women there.
That's a wonderful advice. Thank you so much. So, and finally, what message would you like to share with young dentists around the world about building strong networks?
Building strong and advice for that. I think you have the tools now to have strong networks. So use it. You have your association, you have FDI, No, you have everything. You have to have a network because it's so good to see that the others are like you and how they can solve some problems that you have also. You see, no, network is really a big help now, but not too much. Not a network like I see with some children looking all. I take like Facebook. They put only the best on the Facebook, and then people think that the other are much better than them, and then they are unhappy. That's stupid. No, network is to see, and I think face to face is the best. Not only the beautiful image, but face to face and speaking and hearing, and you feel. It's like your patient. I always say when my patient is in my practice, and after 10 minutes, you know exactly who is there in your practice, who is lying on the seat, because they can just behave in front and everything but well, but once they are there and you have their confidence, you know really who is there. It's a network is good, but face to face is important.
Thank you
I
so
don't
much.
know if I really respond well on your question, but I just give what I can give you. You know, I try my best.
Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you so much. You talked about the Women in Dentistry Network. When is going to be the next meeting?
The meeting is always in. We have one day during the FDI Congress. We have half a day before I succeed to have a complete day, but the people wants to reduce the time of being present in FDI's organization once a year when we have the Congress and the General Assembly, and so we reduce all the times. But you can go to the website, you can become a member, you will be informed from what happened. I start. That give me, the women in dentistry give me the, I must not say the courage, but the motivation to go, to accept to go for presidency, because I say we have to be on decision levels. We have another life, and I took just a little example. In Belgium, all the continuing education was only on Saturday. When a mum put her children in the kindergarten all the week, do you think that she wants to say on Saturday to her husband, you take care of the children, you do the shopping, and I go to my continuing education? And so we had very few women in continuing education. I speak 40 years ago. And so it took me, as president of my association, several years to succeed to put in place continuing education on a Thursday during the lesson or the school hours of the children. And there was full of women who come for continuing education. Because it was in the week, men say, oh no, I cannot close the door of my practice in a week, so it must be on Saturday. And I see that we had a very few women only. So I say, if women are on decision levels, you can change that. You can only in a position in a decision level, you can change sustainable things. You can only introduce sustainable changes if you are in a position level. Because I was president, I can be so active for that resolution in the WHO. I wrote to all our member associations that they have to lobby their minister to accept our resolution. You see, just only because I was in that position. So you have to go to decision position. There you can introduce long-term changes. Otherwise, you can do very good in your neighborhood, and when you are disappeared, it's finished with. It is not sustainable. You see, that is the reason why you have to go for decision levels.
Thank you so much. This conversation was really, really inspiring. Hearing about your journey, your leadership, and your commitment to empowering others has been truly motivating for us. What I admire the most is not only what you've achieved, of course, but the passion and the kindness of how you've achieved it. And you remind us today that the real leadership is about making a positive impact and lifting others along the way. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And it's been really an honor to have you on Women's Day podcast.
Thank you for your kind words.
To everyone listening, thank you for joining us, and we hope today's conversation has inspired you to believe in yourself, because the limit is your mind, and to inspire others and keep moving forward. Until next time, take care and keep leading the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Martina. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Edith.
And I remember that the next Women's Day, the next Women in Dentistry meeting is going to be in Prague in September.
Yeah.
So if our listeners are interested, you can join the FDI Congress in September.
Yeah, it will be such an honor to meet you there. I hope so. Like for all the team to be there, and we hope that we can meet you there.
Yeah, I hope to meet you there too. Of course,
Yeah,
I will there.
yeah, it will be such an honor. And thank you for your insights, not just for women, but for all dental students all over the world. It was so insightful. We really appreciate your efforts and your leadership roles. Thank you so much. And thanks for accepting our invitation as well.
No, thank you.